Welcome to Optimal Timelines. I am your guide, Sean, in helping you to connect to your most optimal future timeline. So it's that time again. It's time for our monthly Tarotscope readings for June 2022 for the North Nodes by sign and house. Now, if you're unfamiliar with your North Node, there's going to be a link in the description box below where you can get some more information. And again, the reason I use your North Node by sign and house as opposed to your sun, moon, or ascendant sign is it's recognized in astrology that your North Node is your North Star. It's the path that you should be moving towards and learning in this lifetime. So let's get started on the readings. This is going to be your monthly Tarotscope reading for June 2022 for everybody with their North Node in Sagittarius and or the 9th house. And while I'm shuffling and connecting to the energies, I want to invite you to take some deep breaths, relax, open up your energy field in order to get the most benefit and any relevant information that will kind of come to you. So I'm going to connect to the energies and we can begin. I call upon my spirit guides and guardians and the wisdom of my ancestors to bring forth the information that's true and correct for all who see this reading, that it may bring them the most beautiful, happy life possible and set them on their most optimal future timeline. So may it be. Okay, North Node in Sagittarius and or the 9th house. Okay, so the spread on this side of the table here represents the first half of the month from the 1st to the 15th, and this side over here represents the 16th of the month till the end. And I did a book divination for all the North Nodes this month again, using the book Astrology for the Soul by Jan Spiller. And what came up for you, the message that came up big time for you North Nodes in Sagittarius or the 9th house was this. It was becoming aware of an overactive mind, but in particular when it comes to dealing with others in relationships. So here's what I mean by that. When you have a South Node in Gemini, as you do, and or the 9th, or as in the 3rd house also. So Gemini, 3rd house, ruled by Mercury. One of the things that most of you come in with is a very quick, agile, active mind. And with most of you have a innate ability for social graces. Okay. The ability to, because you're able to read the room, working with people. Okay. Most of you have the gift of communication, proper communication, knowing the right things to say to the certain people. Okay. That's a gift you have. But one of the ways it can play out negatively in this lifetime is when you overthink things. So, for example, now I relate to this in the way because I don't have this North Node by sign and house, but my Pluto is um, in Virgo, but also I have my Mercury is in Gemini. So I can relate to this, okay? So, for example, you have an interaction. Let's say you go to a business meeting or you go to a party, and you're in the moment and you're dealing with different people in different situations, whether in the business setting or in a party, and you find yourself in the moment also thinking, like, you're talking to that person, like, what do they mean by that? Like, or were they, what is it they were trying to say? Like, second guessing, like, your interpretations, like, did you take it the wrong way? Were they being rude or offensive? Like, basically, like, it's like overthinking, because when you overthink, it's like being self-conscious of where people are coming from. A lot of that is because, as I said, you are such a skilled communicator. Most of you are skilled in learning, like, how not to say things that are rude to people, or how different things you say or do might be taken the wrong way. But see, a lot of people that don't have that skill, they don't know that, and they might not necessarily mean anything by it. So what you're learning this month, and this is great moving on, is there are situations that are coming up that you're going to have the tendency to overthink. Now, what happens when we overthink something? Well, when there's a thought, after the thought, there's an emotion that happens. So a thought comes into your mind. A thought is pure at first. The first time it hits, it's like an electrical charge. It's pure, but then there's emotions behind it. So it's like, oh, I had that thought, and it could be great emotions, not necessarily negative. It could be like you have a thought like, oh man, I'm really looking forward to, this vacation, or I'm looking forward to this weekend, going out with this person. And then after that thought, then there's immediately, it's like a quick echo. There's like an emotion attached to it. So what ends up happening is, when thoughts are the precursors to emotions, okay, they're usually right there at the same time, okay, or right beforehand. So there's situations that are popping up that you could be overthinking things, okay? And what I'm getting for you is two things. This first half of the month, we're seeing the Seven of Pentacles, and I'm seeing the Knight of Swords reversed, okay? This is slowing down and seeing things accurately, and pausing to really understand a situation, okay, before you, like, jump to conclusions. Because what can end up happening is it could cause a lot of problems if you are, a lot of times, like, what comes up is when we overthink or we second guess, we could think people mean things that they didn't mean, or a situation we could assume things, that are not really there. And so I feel like this first half of the month, there's going to be a situation that, and it could even be, for some of you, it's going to be a personal situation that is going to be with a person or a group of people. For others, it's going to be seemingly like a, no, I'll say like an emergency situation, but it would be like, it's like a situation is going to happen, and then it could cause you to either overthink or worry about it. So it could trigger, we're basically like triggering your mind. So it's going to either be directly with a person, or like a situation could pop up. Like, what I mean by an emergency, it's like maybe, for each of you it's going to be different, but like, let's say, like a flat tire or whatever, or something to that effect. And that could be, it's like something like to that effect that could start triggering like a chain reaction in your mind. So what you're wanting to do this first half of the month, whatever you're having to deal with, is to pause and get enough information without jumping to conclusions too quickly. So allow yourself to say, okay, am I seeing this correctly? Okay, the person here looking at, this is patience. This is pausing, leaning on their garden tool and looking at, and so they're looking at the situation and they're pausing. And however this is playing out, and either with a, like I said, a personal relationship, but pausing, getting all the information, that a lot of this has to do with checking in with the other person too. So getting more information might mean that you need to research. So if it's a situation, you research it, you take your time, you look at it. If it's a situation with a person, like an interpersonal thing, you check in with that person, you make sure that you're seeing it correctly and not just letting that Mercury flash mind go to one area. Okay, now this is huge, because when you do this, you're going to see amazing results in your life, and you're going to be a lot more like relaxed. Okay, you're going to be able to like be more relaxed in your life, and you're going to find, when you do this, you're going to find, you know what, and you've probably already experienced this, where after a situation happened, you look back and you're like, I totally overreacted, or I was overthinking with that. And you're like, oh, well. But see, when we have these tendencies that are instinctual, they keep coming up. So now you're going to get the ability to recognize it, and you're going to pause, and you're going to get the correct information. And when you do that, it's going to cause you not to go into an emotional place. Like I use the party example. Like, why did she say that to me? What did she mean by that? Like, is she being like, a horrible bee or whatever? Like you start thinking about things, and that's creating an emotion. And there is a possibility that you totally misread the situation. Okay. Especially since people don't have the interpersonal skills of manners and not being rude like you do. You have these natural, interpersonal skills. And so when people don't have that, you think like, you take it personally. Okay, that's understandable. Now, second half of the month. Yeah, it's funny. Okay, I mentioned that I feel like there's going to be something that comes up in two areas. I feel like this is going to play out in work, and it also is going to play out in some sort of a celebration or like party situation. Okay, for sure this second half of the month. So some sort of a social situation or work, you're going to have an opportunity to see things from a higher perspective, almost like an optimistic thing. So it's almost like when you have this South Node in Gemini or the third house, your first reaction could be, it's almost like the glass is half empty. And so I'm seeing this optimism is what's really going to help you. Like realizing, you know what? Okay, I've been wrong about a lot of people in a lot of situations in my life. Okay, I recognize that. I also recognize, see, this is the correct use of, if you want to think, this is the way you think, okay? For instead of overthinking. I realize that I've been wrong about a lot of people and situations in my life. I found out later because I jumped to conclusions. And so I'm not going to jump to conclusions, and I'm going to give people the benefit of the doubt while I dig deeper or look at the things, so you're taking the more like glass half full, someone is innocent until proven guilty type of a thing. Because what I'm seeing in this situation, there are definitely going to be things, and this is going to be a test for you, whether it's work or in some sort of social situation or situations. There are going to be things that are going to be hidden from you that are not obvious. And when you allow yourself to dig deeper, you're going to find out that you will be able to make the correct decision. Some of you are going to be able to recognize this the second half of the month, and I'm saying some of you will not. That's okay. We have our whole lives, and actually lifetimes and lifetimes, to learn what we need to learn, okay, for our soul's evolution. Okay, we have, so it's okay. I'm continually learning, and I'm constantly moving, trying to move forward. Okay, we all are. Okay, so I'm telling you right off the bat, some of you are going to get this and some of you aren't. Here's the key. I'm giving you a heads up. Something with these situations, and this is true with anything, there are things particularly that are hidden from you, and that if you are able to see what's really going on and read the situations correctly, you will be able to make a move that will put you moving forward. But I had the reverse chariot here, and that's going around in circles, or that's like, could even be moving backwards. Okay, so if you can get this, let me give you a quick example so you could, wrap your head around this. So you're in a situation where you're dealing with someone, let's just say it's at work. And this person is just being like really difficult or an a-hole. And you're just like, what? They're being like super rude to you, or they're doing whatever. And then you react to the way they're reacting. Okay, it's normal when we are mistreated. We don't like to be mistreated. But if we react too soon, what you could find out is this person's acting like that because they just got news that their partner is really ill or something happened major in their life. People handle things differently. Not everybody handles them, and not everyone walks up and say, you know what, I'm not really in a great mood today because, I found out that my family member is really ill, and I'm super stressed out about finances. So if I'm being an a-hole, like, people don't do that a lot of times, but you and I might not deal with things that way. You and I might not bring our personal issues and like let that bleed over into other people, because since you have these natural people skills, you'd be like, you know what, this is not that person's problem. I'm going to put on a happy face. People sometimes have the ability to do that. Sometimes people don't. This is an example of when you find out later at lunch that this person is going through something really challenging, and that doesn't justify them mistreating people, but then you find out that, oh, okay, so, you give them the benefit of the doubt, okay, type of a thing, as opposed to just automatically like overthinking and assuming that, stewing all day how this person was like rude. Just a small example, okay? What I'm saying is the second half of the month, there is some hidden information. Go deeper, and don't react right away, whatever the situation is, work, personal relationships, okay? And give the person the benefit of the doubt, innocent until proven guilty. Look at the glass as half full instead of half empty, okay? And you're going to find that this is going to put you and propel you forward. You have the chariot here as your end card, okay? You can, by doing this, what I'm talking about, it is going to help your life on all levels. Personally, personal relationships, business, finances, every aspect of your life. When we go toward our north node, it helps our life. Our life gets more joyful, okay? Doesn't mean it's completely problem-free, because these tests keep coming up in order that we get these lessons. They don't just happen once, okay? But they get easier because you're able to recognize them. So anyway, I hope this reading made sense to you and you found some value in it. Thank you so much for watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing. If you'd like a personal reading, would love to give you more information. There's going to be a link in the description box below. And yeah, if you could hit that like button, it really helps out. Feel free to drop a comment. Love to read them. I read them all, and I interact with all of them. So yeah, pop a question to me. Would love to help you out. But yeah, go out there, make it a great month. Again, thank you for watching, and we will see you on some more videos. Many blessings.